Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
What? Dude. Fish on.
This is Andy Rowe from RowPaint.com. If you've thought about finishing your garage floor, patio, or business, give us a call. We have dozens of floor coating options to fit a variety of budgets and tastes. From polishing to stone finishes, decorative chips, and more, RowPaint.com is the largest applicator of specialty coatings in the Treasure Valley. Let the official coatings company of the Broncos bring you a 5-star experience and product.
My husband and I are like, we should have done this sooner, and it really changes your garage. Like your garage is just so much cleaner, and it stays so much cleaner. I'm not really sure how that's possible, but it does. And it's literally my favorite room in our house right now. I would definitely recommend Row Paint to my friends, family, and neighbors. The outcome was amazing. The process was amazing. Row Paint was so awesome, and I am highly impressed, and I would use them for other things as well.
RowPaint.com. Empowering people, pride in painting.
Get ready for the time of your life at Circa Resort and Casino, Las Vegas's newest destination for fun, featuring the world's biggest poolside tailgate party with 3 levels of action, 6 pools, and a 143-foot screen. The fun is always on deck with all the games all year long. Stadium Swim, located in downtown Las Vegas on Fremont Street. Book the time of your life today at circalasvegas.com.
This is Bronco Nation News Live. The best interviews, the most informed opinions, the latest breaking news, all from the top Boise State insiders. Today's broadcast is coming from the Cutwater Spirits Canned Cocktail Studios. Check out one of their more than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails at your local gas station or grocery store. Cutwater Canned Cocktails is perfect for your next game day tailgate party. Now, here's 4-time NSMA Idaho Sports Writer of the Year, BJ Rains, with another edition of Bronco Nation News Live.
Hey, how we doing, Boise State fans? Welcome on in. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com. My name is BJ Rains, and I got a lot going on this morning, and it's going to be a different time here, so I apologize for that. As I've made it known several times, we are selling our house, and Matt Bauscher Real Estate doing an outstanding job, but we've got somebody checking it out this morning, and so that means the home studio here, the temporary studio while we're selling our house, needs to be evacuated a little early today, so we can hopefully have someone come in here and want to buy it. So starting a little early, ending a little early. I apologize for that. Jay Tust going to join us momentarily, finishing up some dad duties there at his house as well. And a late second edition, though, we're making it worth it to you. Javin Buchanan, the NAIA star that has committed to Boise State, just got it confirmed that he is going to be able to join us, and so we're super excited about that, and we'll get to that here in just a couple of minutes. And I know folks are super fired up and excited to have both Javin and Dylan Anderson, the 2 newest members of the Boise State men's basketball family that have joined the program. And super excited for that. And I know we'll be hearing next week, I believe, from Coach Rice and some of the coaches on the coaching staff, and really starting to see what this roster looks like, because you talk about Tyson Degenhardt and Omar Stanley coming back, and Alvaro Cardenas at the point guard spot, and what they've got with some of those guys that either redshirted or were freshmen or young guys last year, and Andrew Emmanuel Ugbo. I mean, you're starting to look like a Mountain West favorite type of roster right here. So I think it's going to be a very exciting season of basketball, and obviously Bronco Nation News excited to be there every step of the way with you guys. We missed one game last year. We were at every game in person last year except for one, and super excited for that. Our man Jay Tust is alongside. Jay, I know we mixed up the timing today with the daddy duties, and I know you're busy, so we appreciate you jumping on. But how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you, bud?
I'm doing good. I think you know this. I tweeted it. I don't know if you know or not, but we did get a late entrant to the show here. Javin Buchanan going to join us in a couple of minutes. Super excited for that and thankful that he is nice enough to join us. We're going to go to him in a couple of minutes, 9 o'clock, I believe, and excited to have him jump on. I texted with him, and he was able to make it work on short notice. So starting early, got to get out early. We're hoping maybe today's the day. You never know, Jay, and it's funny because, you got stuff going on, and I work from home, and it's like, 9:30, not the ideal time when the realtor texts you, can we show the house? And it's like, we need this thing sold. So yes, we will do whatever we will do whatever we got to do. So we'll end a little early today, about 9:20 or so, and apologize and appreciate you making it work today.
Yeah, no, man, I'm stoked about it. It's gonna be a good Friday, I feel.
Big game tonight over at Settlers Park, by the way. Naismith Reigns on the bump. We got first place on the line, I believe. Big game tonight. So I'm as a dad and a coach, fired up, and it's going to be a long time to get to 6 o'clock tonight. So
I thought, I can't remember what day it was. I almost jokingly tweeted back at you. There's some big announcement. I can't remember what it was, but
it was the TBT tournament yesterday.
Oh, that's what it was. I was going to say, oh man, I thought that you were going to announce that Naismith made the All-Star team. I was a little disappointed.
He's actually facing the other team tonight in our league, is coached by the All-Star coach. So he gets to face his future coach tonight, and I decided to put him on the bump tonight. So we'll see. Nice. Should be fun. Meridian Youth Baseball. Yeah, my son. And we bought him a new bat yesterday, Jay. Oh, man, he better go 3 for 3 today, or I'm taking that thing back to Dick's. But those bats, man, I knew they were expensive when I played back in the day, but, man, a quality, metal bat is not cheap these days.
Nope, they're not. Remember my dad worked in OT back in the day to make sure that I had the latest and greatest. So
yep,
shout out to Pops.
Well, I'm hoping that Naismith will say that someday about us. So we're doing what we can to make sure he's got the equipment and the stuff that he needs. But yeah, it would be nice to get a couple first night with the new bat tonight. So we'll see. Once he made the All-Star team, he was asking for a while, and I said once he made the All-Star team, I said all right, we'll get you a better bat. So we'll see. But as I said, some big basketball news. We're going to talk to Mr. Buchanan here in a couple of minutes. But just your take, Jay, on adding Javin and adding, Dylan Anderson yesterday, and just where this roster sits right now.
Yeah, I think it's an impressive job by the coaching staff, just because they had to do a hard pivot in the last couple of weeks. They really thought that they were going to bring back I still feel like they brought back the core, but they thought they were going to bring back even more, right? And they potentially are going to return 4 starters. They added Cardenas to the mix, and things were looking really good. And then Buzo entered the transfer portal, and Roddy followed him, and it just forced this coaching staff to do a very quick pivot, evaluate the transfer portal, and get a couple of guys that they feel or felt would fit into their program and help them. And so I think one thing that stands out to me about this is, not only do you feel like you add some talent and potential that you're certainly excited to develop, but it also staggers things out a little bit. And, way back when we thought that Boise State was going to, bring back Buzo and have Omar and Tyson and obviously Alvaro, and we're like, okay, this is awesome for next year, but that's also 4 seniors that you're going to lose. I mean, that's like almost at the very least, a starting lineup rebuild next year. Yeah. Now you bring in Dylan, who's got 3 years of eligibility, Javin, who's got 2 years of eligibility. So you're able to stagger it out a little bit. Now that is a challenge in the NIL era, right, BJ? Like, just because you have eligibility left at a school doesn't mean you're going to use it at one school. But either way, it does stagger it out a little bit to where it could help the longevity of the program, I suppose, moving forward. But go back, Buzo, no doubt a massive, massive loss, but excited to see what, Javin can come in here and do, and see if he can contribute, in the meantime.
Yeah, super excited for that. And the way they stacked it out with the 2 days in a row, you had the announcement on Thursday from Javin, then I guess it was Wednesday with Javin, then Thursday with Dylan. Kind of nice build up here, Jay. And I guess I'll just flat out ask you. I mean, and again, when you kind of compare rosters, it's like you're talking negatively about somebody else or degrading them, which we're certainly not. But you look at the 3 starters potentially, and again, I think Javin's going to be in the mix certainly for a starting spot, but Andrew Meadows going to be in that mix. But you look at Roddy Anderson and Buzo and Max Rice, essentially traded for Cardenas. Buchanan and Dylan Anderson, and then you throw in kind of, and you do lose Cam Martin, which should be mentioned as well, but you throw in what I expect are some, fairly big improvements from an Andrew Meadow, and you're going to get some production from, Lockett and Ugbo and Keene and those guys. I think overall it's an upgraded roster. What do you think?
I don't know if I'm willing to quite go there yet. Like that, be excited about it, everybody. I'm not saying that, but knowing that, where this roster was when Buzo was on it. I mean, Buzo averaged 14 and 6, and I guarantee he would have made a bigger jump this next year, right?
Sure.
I'm not gonna, underestimate what Cam Martin contributed to this team at times too. So I still think there's so much to be excited about, but I think the one thing that kind of looms over my answer to this question is still 3-point shooting. I know, Javin's so athletic and he dominated dudes, and I mean his highlight reel is impressive.
He's backstage. You better watch what you say here.
No, he can shoot it. Well, this would be a question I have for him, but he was he looks so athletically gifted that I think that that's what he utilized. Now in Boise State's offense is, what is he going to shoot 5-6 threes a game? I don't know. I don't even know if that's really necessarily part of his game, but we can get into that. And that's just you look at what Buzo did and Max did when it came to shooting the three. They still have to have a guy step up there.
Yeah, no doubt. And I would say, Buzo 1-for-1. I don't know if you find a guy that's 100% by himself replacing the type of player on both ends of the floor that Buzo was. I just think the overall improvement you get from Cardenas over Anderson, and what I think the potential of a Dylan Anderson could be, again, because you're going to be moving it around. You're basically almost exchanging Max Rice for Dylan Anderson in the starting lineup if they move up Tyson and Stanley. So it's obviously really hard to compare because they're just they play two different positions. Boise State might play a little different style at times next year. So, but I just think the athleticism you're getting, and I also am banking on big time. I think Andrew Meadow is a budding star, and I think he's an all Mountain West type player. I just think he played behind two all Mountain West players in Buzo and Degenhart last year and didn't get much of a chance to play. So I am also banking next year's team being better on you're getting a lot more from Andrew Meadow than you got this year.
I am very excited about Andrew Meadow, and you talk with the people that know Andrew Meadow, and there's nobody that I always hate saying nobody works harder than this next guy, but I'll say this: few people outwork Andrew Meadow. I think that'd be a great way to describe that. He is an extremely, extremely hard worker.
He's gonna, and I think Keene, I think Lockett, I think Pearson Carmichael, Julian Bowie. I mean, Bowie. I always say it wrong. I mean, they're super excited. I mean, they got a lot of young guys, and that's why you say it bodes well for the future. I just think that if they're willing to play the bench a little more and go deeper into this rotation, I think there's a lot of guys that are able to contribute next year.
Yeah, I think maybe we could talk about is the ceiling higher. But I also think the floor might be a little lower. So it's just about player development and getting it done. But, we're just at this point kind of nitpicking. It's going to be fun to watch this roster come together. And there's certainly a lot of reason to be excited and a tip of the hat to the coaching staff for, like I said, pivoting in a hurry and looking like they found two pieces that fit really, really well with what they do.
I think it's fair to say that, if it's not better, it's at least on the same level where competing for a spot in the, winning the Mountain West and competing in the NCAA tournament is still a goal. I mean, you look at a week or two ago when some of these guys left, fans were freaking out a little bit. I think the two additions they've made are super, super impressive. I do want to, before we get to our special guest, thank a couple of our sponsors real quick. Cutwater Spirits, more than 35 flavors. Pick one up at your local gas station or grocery store. Perfect for your next game day tailgate. Cutwater Spirits, our title sponsor, rowpaint.com. Whether it's your back patio, your garage, you name it, rowpaint.com can help you out. And check them out, rowpaint.com. Tyson Degenhart, Idaho Central Credit Union. They're the best in the business. Mobile, e-branch, online banking, so easy to use. They got Tyson Degenhart repping them. That should be all you need to know. But check them out, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. All your banking needs. Matt Bauscher, Bauscher Real Estate. Number one ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher and Bauscher Real Estate. Seeing this firsthand right now as we're selling our house, Jay. So thanks to Matt Bauscher, and check them out, BauscherRealEstate.com. And Ridley's Family Markets, shopridleys.com. 14 locations across the state of Idaho. And we appreciate Ridley's Family Markets and Shop Ridley's for their support of Bronco Nation news. We mentioned Leon Rice. 15. Let's hear 15 seconds from Leon Rice and row painting, and then we'll get to our special guest.
When I want Boise State to win, I trust Coach Rice to lead the Broncos to victory.
And when I want the best painting and garage floor coating, I trust rowpaint.com to get that job done right.
All right, Jay, as scheduled, we'll go ahead and bring on our special guest here, Javin Buchanan. We appreciate you, man, for joining us. I'll see if I can figure this out, man. You need to be the star here. There we go. Thanks so much on short notice for joining us, man. How you doing?
Yes, sir. I'm happy to be here. Let's go.
Yeah. NAIA star. You're coming to Boise State. We've seen the stats. We've seen it. I mean, this was you had a lot of schools interested in you, man, and you came to Boise and decided, in the last couple of days, Boise State was the spot for you. Just take Bronco Nation through your recruitment here and how you ultimately ended up in Boise, Idaho at Boise State.
Yeah, it's been hectic. Like you guys know, I've been to Nevada and Texas Tech and Loyola Chicago. And so, it's been hectic. I got on 6 flights in 4 days, so it got to a point where it was kind of overwhelming. But I had 2 very good schools, as you know. It came down to you guys and you guys and Texas Tech, and then I low-key want to shout out a dude on the plane to Boise. His name's Simon, and he was talking like he's a Boise State guy, and he was like, I told the coaches, he's probably your guys' best recruiter, and you guys don't even know him. And he was just on the plane, just like in my ear, like, man, you're gonna love it here. If you don't come here, I swear. Like, it was like talking the whole, and I'm kind of like a nervous flyer. So I'm on the plane just like talking to him the whole time. And then by the time we land, I just spent the whole ride talking to him. So I was like, that's a great sign for this place. So
well, that's funny because I'm a nervous flyer also, so I like you already. But number 2, I know somebody named Simon. I don't know if it's the same guy or not. We'll have to talk off air and see. But that's pretty funny. But you came to Boise. I know you probably had no idea what you were getting yourself into getting off the plane in Boise, Idaho, man. Just what were you expecting on the visit? And then when you got on that plane to leave Boise, what were your thoughts?
Obviously when you think Idaho, I'm from Indiana. People don't think high of Indiana, but when you think of Idaho, it's kind of like on the same level of Indiana, like what is out there. And then when I got here, it just kind of shocked me, just the city overall. And then on top of that, just meeting the people and the coaching staff and the teammates just like embraced me. And I can shout out Emmanuel Ugbo. He was talking about like they brought me into their apartment and we were just like instantly connected. So I had a really good time on my visit, and so did my mom, and I brought my aunt as well. So it was awesome. We got to stay in the Grove, so that was a good start.
When it comes to this program, Javin, like culture is a huge deal, and it's not like Leon Rice and company. They don't just bring in good basketball players; they bring in good people. So, what kind of teammate are you, and what stands out about how you fit into the culture that Boise State has tried to establish here?
Yeah, no doubt. I came from Indiana Wesleyan, and that's the best culture I've ever been a part of, and I think that's what made me the player I am today. And their whole motto was, I am third. You put God first, others second, and yourself third. That was their motto. And me living into that just kind of made me the teammate I am. Like, I can't say I was like that coming out of high school, but they kind of molded me into that. And I think that in turn helped me be a better player and just an overall teammate. So
it feels like a big question that people are going to ask about, you coming to Boise State, and I'm sure it's one that you're ready to prove, coming up from the NAIA level. How big of a jump do you think this will be, and how ready are you for it?
Right. No, that's going to be a question, but I've been playing against Division I players my whole life in Indiana. So I know it'll be there'll be a learning curve, a little adjustment at the beginning, but I'm super confident in what I can do on the court. And yeah, I think everything will just prove itself,
Javin Buchanan, our guest, coming to Boise State, has committed, has signed, and is going to be there fighting for a starting spot next season. Major contributor on this team. How did you end up there? I know some fans are curious about that too. Your recruitment coming out of high school and how you ended up at an NAIA school, and just what was kind of your path coming up through high school?
Yeah, so I was a very late bloomer in terms of like my athleticism. Probably got all my like real athleticism going into my senior year. And then by then, it was kind of just very slow. Like I got a couple like D2 or something like that. And then I committed to Indiana Wesleyan because it felt like just the right spot, like in December of my senior year. And then like going into like the spring, I kind of got another offer, but I stayed committed to Indiana Wesleyan. And then, I mean, it paid off. I'm like looking back, I'm so glad it happened that way, because I don't know if at that point in my career I would have been ready for the Division I level in terms of my development and my mindset as well. So I think it was just a blessing in disguise to get there. And then as you see, it all worked out. So
Javin, you've obviously, so you've made massive jumps since you were in high school, or I guess you would say your junior year of high school when you started to bloom as a senior. What, when it comes to the NAIA versus the Division I level, there's also another big difference. Like, we have the College of Idaho out here, an NAIA national power. I texted their head coach after you committed. His name's Colby Blaine, and he was like, "Oh yeah, Javin Buchanan's the real deal, an absolute D1 basketball player." But at the Division I level now, like, I'm sure Indiana Wesleyan was great and they took care of you, but it now elevates, right? So how do you think that Boise State and the setup at Boise State and the investment and the weight room and all of this stuff will now bring out the best in you?
Yeah, I mean, I think it just comes down to, just resources. Like, Boise State has more resources. They have more time as well. They have more coaches, more GA. Like, there's just so much more. Not saying that they can't develop you at that level, because they can. It worked with me. But I think at Boise State there's going to be – I already met the coaches, like Coach Lex, like Coach Berto. He's trying to get in the gym as soon as possible, like whenever.
Berto doesn't leave the gym.
Exactly. So, like, that's just one thing I'm excited for, to just have that 24-hour gym access. And then on top of that, like, how a Division I weight room and a Division I nutritional system is, so, like, how beneficial that can be. And there's only so much you can do with limited resources. So, and they don't have really limited resources. They have all of them. So I think it's just gonna take care of itself. And I know it's going to be a great thing.
So your game, how does it fit to Boise State's offense and their style? And we've seen the highlights and stuff. We've seen the stats, but what are you going to bring to the table here for the next couple of seasons in Boise?
Yeah, I think I'm just going to bring a whole lot of versatility. Just work my butt off. I'm just trying to be a man of the people. And then, I know we play fast, so that's what I love doing. I love, like, rebounding it. Anybody who has it, take it off the rim and go. Like, that's the style I like to play, and I think I'll fit right in with that. And just excited to get to know the guys, and just get this thing rolling. I'm ready to hoop right now.
And you mentioned picking Boise State over Texas Tech, a Big 12 program. What did that say about your vision, the future of Boise State basketball? How good you think this team is, the city? Like, what does that say about the Boise State Broncos that you decided to go with them over a school like Texas Tech?
Yeah, nothing against Texas Tech. Like, they are who they are, right? They're a great program. But my whole recruitment process, I've been going just based off my feel. And, like, when I visited Boise, there was just a different feel and a level of feel that, like, I knew was right, and not for the wrong reasons. And it was just as simple as that, really. Like, it came down to there's both great people on both sides. Didn't come down to one's worse than the other. It came down to just, where do I feel I'm going to grow the most, and where do I feel I'll be embraced? And this is the last time I want to, like, be in this portal, honestly. So that's, like, one thing I took into account, just where am I going to be happiest in my next step. And, like, where, like, my mom especially, she's very discerning like me. And on the visit, she was like, "Oh no, I think you really like it here." So that kind of showed me while I was on the visit. I was like, "Uh-oh, my mom likes it. There you go." So it was good. It was great.
Pretty much the only approval you probably need, right?
Right.
So I am curious, like, you said that Indiana and Idaho have some similarities. When it comes to basketball, that's like Indiana. I don't know. That's one of the best, right?
Mm-hmm.
What was your reaction when Boise State first reached out to you? How did they reach out to you? And which player on the roster has kind of been, impactful in helping you get up to speed or acclimated on what Boise State basketball is all about?
Yeah, I mean, the initial reaction is just like, Idaho. What's going on out there in Idaho? And then when you get on the phone with like Coach Rice and Coach Burns, like, you know how passionate he is, like, and then like they just kind of, I don't know, they're good at talking about Boise, and it really helped me. And then in terms of players, like when I was first meeting the players, like I met Tyson, I met Omar, and then I met Emmanuel and RJ, and like all four of them just embraced me right away. Like there wasn't like a "Are you here to steal my minutes?" kind of mentality or anything like that. Like there was just like it speaks to the culture, like you said earlier. Like it just automatically felt like I was there and like I was family, you know, and like there wasn't any kind of standoffish kind of personality. So it was like, it's kind of just because that's how I am. And I know that's how I want recruits to feel like whenever we got recruits at Indiana Wesleyan. So that was huge for me.
What you obviously couldn't see a game when you were here, but I mean, they had record crowds last year, 12,000 plus in that arena, probably, bigger crowds than most of the games you played in, I would assume, in your past year. What did they do in terms of showing you some videos, or if you saw some photos, or just what's the excitement level to walk into that building next year and know there's going to be a sellout crowd and that place should be rocking for you?
Yeah, I mean, one cool thing was at Indiana Wesleyan, they made it a small gym, so whenever you did pack it out, it was really loud. But I mean, when I walked into the arena, and like I was still shocked on how big it was. Like I knew it was big, but it was even bigger in person. And so, no, I can't wait. I can't wait to just walk out and warm up in front of them. I know that'll be awesome. And then also my high school is called the Broncos with an H. So, I mean, I think it all just came together. So I'm a Bronco Nation. Once a Bronco, always a Bronco.
There you go.
Javin, for you, just what's your favorite basketball memory? Like it could be a shot you made. It could have been at Indiana Wesleyan. It could have been when you were 4. It could have been watching, I don't know, Kobe Bryant highlights. What's like, not only like your favorite, I guess, but like the one that kind of transformed the way you think about the game?
It's good. We had a couple of them. Mine would be at Indiana Wesleyan.
Okay.
It was a senior night my freshman year, and we're just playing this school called Marion. And the whole football team was there. It was packed. We ended up winning. And then we're just kind of like in the handshake lines walking off the court, but the football team's just standing there antsy, just staring at us. And we're like, what? And then they just start chasing us to the locker room. So the whole football team, I mean, our locker room is not that huge. We run to the locker room and the whole football team chases us into the locker room. And then the coaches always come in last, as you know, and they like throw their shirts off, start throwing water. And then like the whole football team's in there, the whole basketball team's in there. I'm sure a couple students snuck in there. So it was just, that's one of my favorite memories that come to mind.
What final question or two for me, and we'll let you go. And we really appreciate your time here, and fans in the chat, I don't know if you can see it or not, are super excited to have you here. But just you mentioned not wanting to go in the portal again, so 2 years, and this is your home in Boise State. And what do you know, or what have you researched, or what have the coaches told you just about the basketball tradition here and making the tournament 3 years in a row, and obviously being a contender in the Mountain West? But I know there's still some big goals this program has in terms of March Madness and stuff. I mean, how excited are you, I guess, to help elevate this program to places it's never been before, maybe?
Man, I'm super excited. Like I can't fathom how much is this like a dream, just a dream come true. I'm not only playing at this level, but getting a chance to win at a high level and playing March Madness is like always a dream of yours. And obviously there's always noise and smoke about whatever tournament records are, but I don't think that should control anything we do this year. I think that's going to be something that proves itself. So I just can't wait to get to work. And then like Coach Rice, Coach Burns, like those guys are so great. And like, I just can't wait to get to work with them on a daily basis. So it's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
So what's your final message right now, at least to Bronco Nation and the fans watching and the fans that'll be watching this later and social media? And I know you're going to be out here in early June, I assume, to get going with the workouts and summer conditioning and everything else. But what's your message right now to Bronco Nation about joining the family here, man?
Man, I can't wait. I mean, thanks for welcoming me in. Shout out Simon for bringing me here.
We gotta figure out who this Simon is.
Simon, he's got to see this. You guys should really thank Simon. I think he's the winner in all of this. But no, in all seriousness, I can't wait. It's been a crazy, hectic ride these past couple weeks, but I'm so excited. Just can't wait to get out there.
Do we know anything else about Simon? What he does? Can we try to track this guy down? I mean, he needs season tickets or something now.
I know. I think he comes to a lot of games. He's a businessman. He travels a lot. Okay. He lives in Boise. I know. All right. He has.
We'll talk off air. We don't want to give too much away from him, but I think I may know who you're talking about. But That's hilarious, man. That's awesome. Glad you had a great visit. Thanks to Simon. Glad, looking forward, man. It's going to be a fun next 2 years covering you and seeing how you do at Boise State. And so congratulations, man. Finish up whatever you need to do with school and everything else. And we'll be seeing you in Boise here real soon, man. Appreciate your time.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
There he is, Javin Buchanan. Appreciate him, Jay. Man, very well spoken. Seems like a great young man that's going to bring a lot to this program the next couple of years.
Yeah. I'm not going to lie. He reminds me of another guy that he's kind of replacing at Boise State. Both, when it comes to his character. Talking with Booze over the first time, I just remember how kind of engaging and fun he was. And Javin, what a relaxed attitude that seems like, it's funny because I know that Boise State likes to hype their culture and say they have their guys and things like that. And I always kind of sit back and you're like, there's no way they can always have both, right? Like there's always, it seems like there's got to be a sacrifice at some point, and they're just, I just think they're unwilling to sacrifice that. And the same thing with talking with Omar last year. I was like, oh gosh, you watch his highlights and he's good, and then you talk to him, like you interview him, and you're like, oh man, I get it. Like, seems like a great dude. Like,
not surprised. He came on very well spoken and said all the right things.
Yeah, no, I just seems like he's going to be a good fit. People.
Now we only have a couple of minutes left. We are up against the clock today, but RJ Keene has jumped in here. He says, "Let's go." I got to play this quick bite before we get out of here. Now, this could be in relation to Javin. This could be in relation to Dylan Anderson. But we had RJ Keene on the Tyson Degenhart show last week prior to these visits happening, and here's what he had to say.
Go to Logan's comment because he's concerned about all the recruits staying with RJ. That's actually funny because our coaches are always a little concerned about RJ being with the recruits, but he does get them out of their shell, and that's what we need. We need to, like, a lot of times on the visit you're a little closed off. These are new people, a lot's going on, and he's just there just to talk to you about sports, life, whatever it may be, and play video games, do that kind of thing. He's very, very good on a visit. So shout out to you, RJ, for that.
He says coaches are kind of concerned. What do you think of that, RJ?
I mean, I don't blame him. I mean, with the recruit coming in, if you know me, I'm like the most outgoing person of all time. And it's good. Like Cardinez said he loved talking to me. He said it made him feel comfortable. That's what he told the coaches. I mean, I'll take that. I mean, so thank me for Cardinez a little bit, I guess. But yeah, the guy coming this weekend, I'm gonna get him to commit 100%. Like if there's odds, he's gonna commit.
Okay. Well, we'll find out later who it was at some point. 100%, he said. And I think he was more the host of Dylan Anderson. We'll have to find out later. But those guys came back to back, I believe, like a Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And RJ Keene, the closer, he got it done, Jay.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna guess it was Dylan. Yeah, but yeah, RJ, he's the most outgoing person that anybody knows. Sounds a little sporadic, kind of like he is off the tee, on a golf course, just a little sporadic there.
Well, good job, RJ Keene, whatever you did to get it done. Thanks again to Javin Buchanan. Excited to see what he can do. Very well-spoken young man. We'll get that full interview cut up and put up on YouTube. Appreciate him jumping on, and a lot of reasons to be excited when you go watch his film and hear him talk about what he could bring to the table the next couple of years at Boise State. Jay, appreciate it. We're up against the clock. I got some folks coming to see my house in 10 minutes, so fingers crossed this is the one. And appreciate you as always. Thanks to everybody for watching. I'll be on at 4:15 today with Johnny and Bob on Idaho Sports Talk. You can watch Jay on all the various sportscasts this weekend. And if any more news breaks, we'll have it for you. Otherwise, I'll be back Monday morning at 9 a.m. Have a great weekend, folks. Bronco Nation News Live here at BroncoNationNews.com.